Hey guys, welcome to Backseat Filmmaking. This is episode 9. I'm your host Tanner. Joining me, my two uber talented co-hosts Derrick and Seth. Today we'll be taking a look at 1994's Speed, directed by Jan de Bont, starring Keanu Reeves, Sandra Bullock, Dennis Hopper, and Jeff Daniels. So strap in and get ready for the ride as we cruise through this 90s classic action thriller. Welcome everybody. Welcome to another episode of Backseat Filmmaking.
All right.
How you boys feeling today?
Feeling great.
Good. You guys ready for Speed?
Oh yeah.
Well, on that note, why don't you start us off by telling us what the movie's about.
I got you. Speed. A deranged bomb expert, Howard Payne, rigs a city bus with a bomb that will explode if it drops below 50 miles per hour. It's up to Officer Jack Travin and passenger Annie Porter to work together to keep the bus moving and save everyone on board. As simple as it gets.
Yeah.
That's the movie right there.
It's as great as it gets.
Yeah, exactly.
Simple is good for this one.
Oh yeah.
Well, how about we start off with a little bit of trivia time.
Love me that trivia. Trivia.
All right. You guys feeling good on your research?
We're about to find out.
Yeah.
About to find out.
Yeah.
Not feeling overly confident, but we'll see.
I've got one win on the season.
You
That's
do.
true.
I have 1L. You are 0-0.
Yeah.
Let's find our winner.
Good luck, buddy. You're gonna
Good luck.
need
Hey, let's do it.
All right, guys. Question number 1. Who was the uncredited writer that helped with the
Buzz.
final dialogue of the script? There.
So wait, do I have to wait till you finish the question?
No, I was honestly just finishing it because you had it. I was
Oh,
gonna
okay.
let you go.
Joss Whedon.
Mhm.
Yes. Just I was gonna touch up on this after the answer, but do you know how much he kind of has, like what
I
he
think
did?
He had a. Oh well, I know he it was mainly dialogue. I
Yeah.
know he added. I know he's specific. I know we'll get to it, but the pop quiz hot shot he added that
Yeah.
specifically, which is pretty iconic from this movie. But yeah, it was a lot of dialogue stuff.
Dude, he reworked it. He did almost 90% of the dialogue.
Yeah,
in the
that's
script.
crazy. Joss Whedon.
That's a big change.
Terrible dude, but
Yes.
gotta give him credit where credit is due. Unfortunately, the guy's a really good writer, specifically with dialogue. So go figure. Uncredited, like you said, right?
Yeah.
So, all right.
All right.
1-0.
Yep, that was good.
Seth, let's see what you could do.
Quick buzz.
But it's only question 2. This movie won a couple Oscars. What Oscars
Buzz.
did the movie win? Yeah.
Best effects editing and best. I think just best sound.
You are
Right?
correct.
Okay.
All
Getting
right.
smoked now,
Yeah,
baby.
yeah. Hey, the most dangerous lead in sports there.
Bonus, this isn't part of it, but do you know what the nominated Oscar?
Oh, this doesn't count.
No, this doesn't
Oh, okay,
count.
'cause
I was just curious if you guys know.
best
It.
editing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy because I don't know what department this would fall under, but there's moments in this movie, multiple, and you guys notice some of them where, you know, the actors have their lines dubbed over and their mouths aren't moving.
Mhm.
Right.
That's, you know, they get
Yeah.
nominated.
There's
Is that, I don't know. That's crazy. It's kind of bad.
yeah. There's some,
it's
there's
noticeable,
some very noticeable
you know?
ADR in this film.
Yeah.
So yeah, to get noms and wins here, I'm
I
going.
don't know, man.
What else was up that year? Like, what was the competition like?
Yeah, I mean, 1994 had to have been a good year, obviously, but
Yeah.
off the top of the dome, I don't know what was nominated.
Yeah.
Either way, moving on to
Maybe
question
the Academy
number 3.
doesn't have such a keen eye.
Oh, they just didn't care. I don't know, but either way, Derek, you're up 2-0. Moving on to question 3. There were multiple actors considered for the role of Jack. Can you name
I'm
at
buzzing
least
in.
2 of
I'm
them?
buzzing in Tom Cruise and Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, keep going if you want, honestly. I want to see if I
Um,
have them because I think I have a couple that aren't
Wesley
noted
Snipes.
on here. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Didn't know that
And
one.
there was one more that I'm forgetting.
If you don't have a guess, I'll finish it. Do you have any other guess?
My
This
first two
isn't-
were gonna
you
be-
aren't gonna get any points.
Yeah,
but-
no, I know.
Okay.
My first 2 were gonna be Tom Cruise, Tom Hanks. So
Okay.
I'm blanking on everyone else. So,
Old Tommy boys, huh?
Mm.
But a few others were Woody Harrelson,
Yeah.
Stephen Baldwin, and
Yeah.
Jeff
Oh,
Bridges.
yeah.
Steven was the
Yeah.
original pitcher of it, right?
Do you know why he turned it down?
I can't remember if it was the director, the person who was originally planning to direct it, or him that thought it was too much like Die Hard.
Yeah, that's why Steven
Yeah.
turned it down. And another actor too that I don't think I have noted here. I forgot to write him down, but I believe that was also the same reason.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just too similar to the script was too similar to Die Hard to them.
Okay, nice.
There were multiple people offered to direct this movie that passed on it. Can you name at
Buzz.
least 2 of them?
Oh,
This is for question 4, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that.
I'll let you answer, but I can steal.
it can still.
Okay.
I only have one, so I don't even feel right
Okay.
throwing my one out there.
Buzz.
Derrick.
John McTiernan, Michael Bay.
Michael Bay was the only
I
one
know
had
Quentin
there.
Tarantino was also.
He was mentioned. I was
he was
trying to find.
approached with
Yeah.
Obviously turned it down, and then
Michael Bay was probably so
what
pissed
was
that this
what was
movie
the other?
Yeah.
didn't go to him.
Yeah.
Well,
It's-
he is the one that expressed interest, so he actually
he
wasn't.
got turned down.
Yeah,
pretty-
he got
or
turned
passed
down.
over.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's like
What can you do?
you guys know what I can do with all this explosion? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, so Quentin Tarantino, he's actually mentioned, I believe this is like one of his favorite like 90s action movies
Yeah.
of the time. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So yeah, I mean, he was clearly impressed with what he was
Yeah.
brought, but I mean, you got to think mid
I'm
90s.
so curious as to how that would turn out with him.
Yeah.
I'm trying to picture that.
I
That's,
think it probably would have been scaled down a bit, probably.
yeah, I just can't even. I
A
don't
lot
know.
more monologuing.
Interesting to think
Lot
about.
more, yeah.
Alrighty. Yeah, another one was Rennie Harlan.
Rennie, there you go. That's the one I was trying to remember. So what,
All right.
3-1, right?
Yeah, 3-1. Derrick, you are 1. Seth, and you turn it around. I have
Let's
a few
see.
more.
Let's
You can actually win this.
Is there a lot of
still.
ball game left?
You can still win this. Yeah.
Okay.
Just enough though. You have to be perfect from here on out. though.
Okay.
Unless I guess both of you get it wrong. Either way. Okay. Question number 5. What studio was the original script pitched to, but didn't like the original
Bus.
script because it had too much bus in it?
Oh,
Paramount?
I remember reading that.
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah,
Dang
it
it.
was.
Because this is
Good
a
job.
20th Century Fox,
Yes.
right? Okay, yeah. So that's who ended up going with it. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so the
Too much
original
bus.
script, had too much bus in it. So
There's Elevator
Um,
also.
that's true. The script was reworked and added. They added additional scenes like the subway ones at the end.
right.
Because I think the original script was just gonna end with all the passengers getting off the bus.
Hmm.
So when they reworked it, they pitched it to 20th Century Fox, and that's what we see today. All right, well, 4-1. See what happens.
Wait, so how many questions are there left?
Was that a
So you
clincher?
can tie.
I can tie.
Oh, so there's still 3 left.
There's 3
Okay.
left.
Okay.
I haven't solidified my win yet.
Okay. This could be the one.
Question 6. Can you name at least one other actress that was considered to play Annie?
Buzz,
Oh, I didn't say it.
Derrick got it.
Halle Berry.
Yep.
Halle Berry. She actually turned it down,
Mhm.
and I guess later on, after the success of it, she regretted it.
Can I have just a mental health answer here too?
Yes.
Ellen DeGeneres was also.
That was actually my next
yeah.
bonus question. And again, no
Uh-huh.
points, but I was gonna see if anybody else knew who
Yeah, I
else
forgot
was.
about. Yeah, that's pretty interesting to think
Yeah.
about. I could see. I mean, I could see it. And
Yeah, I
she's
think
really-
they were
Because
trying to
they
go with a
wanted-
little more comedic
Yeah,
route with that.
yeah.
Right, yeah.
You know?
I think- wasn't like Meryl Streep.
Yeah, they
considered-
were. Yeah.
I
I
can't
saw
imagine
something
her
up.
taking something like this. It's like, oh yeah, we considered her. It's like, did
Meryl
she
Streep
consider
driving
this?
the bus. I
Yeah,
don't know.
like,
That's
you know,
funny. Yeah, yeah.
She'd probably get a Best Supporting Actress
She
nom.
probably would, and she maybe a win. Who knows?
So 5-1, Derrick. You are
Winner.
You solidified the win, but
All right.
we'll finish for fun.
oh yeah,
All right. So question number 7: what was the original name of the movie called before it was changed?
oh Buzz,
Yeah.
Minimum Speed.
Yeah, yeah,
So
Oh,
funny
yeah.
to think about.
it is.
Even more on
And
the
it's
nose.
just like, hey, well, why don't you just take off that first word there?
Who's-
Hey, I like
who's
that.
the
Kind of
minimum?
like
It's
that.
cleaner.
Yeah, that's so funny. Right. Well, Derrick, you are up. What was that 6-1?
Yeah. Sorry.
All
sorry.
right.
Hey, I'm just glad I got one on there right now. You're on a heater.
Last question. What was the inspiration of this movie? Like, what movie did they take inspiration from?
Oh,
Great,
I know this.
Yost.
Buzz.
Seth.
The Runaway Train.
Oh, nice.
Correct.
Yeah.
See, that one I'm kind of blanking on if it had the in it. either way, runaway
You gotta
train.
let me have that.
No, you definitely do. That's a way to
Oh,
end.
boy.
Yeah. There we
Nice.
go. Hey,
6-2.
Hey,
GGs.
great game.
A good game.
guess
Good
I have
game,
to take
boys.
my medicine.
Take your medicine.
All right. You guys.
You're looking a little
filibuster.
unhealthy there. Do you guys have any like extra pre-production or little fun facts to add before we get started with the movie?
I just want to touch up on the you had mentioned Stephen Baldwin, right? Turning down the role because he felt it was too similar to Die Hard.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, the director of this film, DuBont, he was the DP
Mhm.
on Die Hard. I want to say maybe the first three, but I'm almost positive. Definitely the first, and I think definitely the third. It might have been the first three in general, but so he worked on the Die Hard
Yeah.
movies, and so that was also part of this kind of
Yeah.
like
I
pipeline.
believe
He's a-
he
he was a-
recommended him. Tiernan was
Yeah,
the one to recommend
exactly,
him
yeah.
to
This
He
was
passed on
direct
it.
this one. Yeah.
He was originally a cinematographer. This is his directorial debut.
Right.
right. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Did
do
you
you
already
guys,
say that?
yeah, this is fun. Do you guys know like what other notable movie he
I know.
made?
I know his like director wise.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of vague because you could literally say it's opinionated, but like
I was just looking into him a little bit. That one of the things he's what would be the not cinem. One of the things he was a cinematographer for was Cujo.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
He directed Twister as well.
Yeah.
That's what I was. Yeah. Okay. Twister. Gotcha.
Yeah.
One of the Laura Croft.
Yeah, I think it might have been
Or-
the second one because there's only two of those, right? With
Yeah, I don't
Angelina
even, I don't
Jolie.
know the names of
Twister?
them. Never seen them, but
I
Yeah.
think there's only the
He
one,
did.
and then the
oh no, we're talking
No,
about
Laura Croft.
yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
Twister.
Tomb
Yeah,
Raider.
yeah, he did the
Tomb
original
Raider.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Anything else? Do you have anything on that?
Just
just
I think
pre-production or anything?
no, just behind the scenes stuff when
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
talking about some stuff.
Okay.
I think.
Well, I just and then also to tie into that Stephen Baldwin turning it down because of the Die Hard
Mm.
similarities. I believe that was also Keanu's initial apprehensiveness to taking on this role because he felt he didn't feel like an action star first of all, even though he was
Mhm.
coming off of Point Break, which actually was DeBont's
Yeah,
kind of
that's where.
inspiration for looking for someone like Keanu.
Yeah.
But I think he was kind of seems like a Die Hard, ripoff, Die Hard copy. And eventually he was convinced, of course. But I just think it's funny how so many people can immediately go, "Oh, it's like Die Hard, except it's really like it is and it's not." I don't know, like
I think it was one of those things. It's like Hollywood was like Die Hard popped.
right,
What other hostage kind of situation? Man rises above it.
right, yeah,
Like,
See, it's funny because I think the studio Paramount, I think they weren't on board with him cutting his hair.
oh yeah,
But that was DeBont's idea behind it, was that it would make him feel like a more realistic looking cop.
Yeah,
like
they-
just clean cut.
more clean cut, exactly.
So yeah, that's pretty funny. And then he was just like, and he argued that,
Yeah.
obviously,
Well, then so they just did it.
yeah,
They buzzed his hair, and then the studio heads were so upset about that they were threatening to delay the film.
Yeah, so he
until he
brought it
grew
back,
his
right?
I
hair
wonder.
back.
I wonder
and
if that's like.
That's
I wonder
crazy.
if that's where Entourage got that. I don't know if you guys seen Entourage.
I have.
I've never seen it.
I forgot about that bit in
You
there.
know
Yeah.
when he buzzes his hair in the
That's
show, because his whole thing in the show is he's got this long,
Yeah.
luscious hair, and he buzzes it, and they're like, "We have a movie coming up. Why did you do that?"
I can see that.
I-
There's probably
yeah.
a ton of cases of where
For
someone
sure,
did
that's
like a
true.
hair. Well, I know we talked about it in the faculty with Josh Hartnett's hair and
True.
what he was doing there, and the studio heads were not happy about
Yeah.
that. So I think there's probably a lot of examples, but I
Yeah.
could see maybe that the ties directly with
But
Keanu.
you know
and
what,
Speed.
Seth? We'll go with that.
Yeah, we're
you
gonna
heard
go
it,
with
yeah.
Speed being the inspiration for that.
Yep.
Yeah, other than that's all I wanted to touch on
Yeah.
was the Die Hard kind of comparisons, or
Yeah.
at least like I guess the relevancy with.
No, that's
Die
really
Hard.
cool because that movie is a big inspiration behind this one, and
Right.
not only that, it affected roles and directors
Yeah,
on this. So yeah, that's pretty huge.
yeah,
I do. Yeah, this one's pretty cool. Sandra Bullock actually like got her license to drive a bus.
Oh,
She
yeah.
passed.
Yeah,
she passed it on her
yeah,
first
yeah,
attempt.
yeah.
first attempt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Savage.
None of them actually drive the bus in the movie, so that's pretty funny.
That
Why'd
is
you do
pretty
that?
Funny.
You-
Going nothing.
I
dude.
can't imagine. No, I know that's really cool, but like I can't imagine. How does that help you? I guess. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
I would have
maybe just
believed
to, like,
anything. Your hands on the wheel. I believe you're.
Meanwhile,
driving it.
meanwhile, I'm
I don't
going
know.
like, she ain't driving that.
She's not
bus.
driving that bus.
Because she's not.
Yeah. Keanu also did more than 90% of his stunts in the movie.
Yeah, very cool.
Awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
he wanted to, so that's cool. I like when actors do that, you know, like
Yeah.
they want to do. Obviously, if you don't, not a problem. But I think that's cool. Like, just interesting for the actor. Like, they're committed.
Yeah.
You know?
I like that, especially that he's like, I don't want to do this movie. I'm not an action star.
Mhm.
And then he agrees to it. And then he's like, well, if I'm going to do it, I'm just going to do majority of it.
Yeah.
You know, like I like that commitment to like, well, if I am making this commitment, if I've already locked in a yes, I'm going to do this movie. Hey, I'm here on the day. I'm shooting. I'm going to do the stunts. That's kind of cool. Cause he could have been like, I'll do it as long as I don't have to do my stunts kind of thing. You know, definitely could have like just had a stunt double. Nope. I like his
Not
commitment.
Keanu.
Not Keanu. That guy, he's a workhorse, you know,
Yeah.
good for him. So,
And I think it's worth mentioning too that, you know, just shout out Keanu Reeves in general right here. Because in the production of this movie, this is like the first of many horrible things that happened to close people in Keanu's
yeah.
life. River Phoenix passes away during the shooting of this movie.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
And very close friends they were. And just Keanu, like, you know, all the things that have happened to him and the people that he loves in his life, and for him to always be so dang positive, really admirable. And, you know, it's very selfless for him to be like, you know, I think audience members deserve to see me perform and be good at this stuff. And for him to power through so many tragedies in his life, I just nothing but respect for that man.
Yeah.
And
Same here. Yeah.
for this to happen on, because I think they were like very close friends. And so,
yeah. I mean, DeBon talks about the fact that, you know, he took it really hard, obviously his passing. And then he even like restructured shooting around Keanu, like just grieving, like just giving him time to like, hey man, you don't have to be here today, you know, like, and even through that, Keanu would show up and he's like, I'm ready, you know, like I got a job to do, and shit, he does it, man. He's terrific in this film. Yeah. And obviously we're gonna talk about that.
Different breed, huh?
Dude, really, yeah. The guy's built different. And you know, again, the tragedies that he's gone through, many tragedies, but to persevere and be that kind of, I guess, you know, that light in people's lives as an entertainer is something incredibly difficult to do, and yet he's just done it his entire career. So
thanks, Keanu.
Thank you, Keanu. If you're watching, if you're not, someone let him know that we're very appreciative. But yeah, he's really great. So that's all I have to say, pre-production wise.
Well, with the success of this one, it did earn a sequel.
Oh,
Did you guys watch it?
No, because Keanu wasn't in it.
Yeah, he turned it down. He did. I think instead he decided to do Devil's Advocate.
Okay.
Yeah.
But DeBont returned to direct, and Sandra Bullock returned to star.
She got a bag. I think she got like 13 mil.
The bag, baby.
Yeah.
Speed on Water.
Yeah.
Speed on Water. It's just on a cruise boat.
What is it?
Right?
Cruise Control? Yeah. That's hilarious. That's a great title.
Yeah,
it's a shame
great title.
that movie sucks. I've only ever seen it on TV, but I didn't watch it in preparation.
Somebody probably said, okay, guys, what about Speed to Cruise Control? And they're like, well, damn it, now we have to make the movie.
That's sick.
They're like, Speed 2. What if it was on a boat?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Twist my arm.
Why not? Alrighty. Well, get into the movie. Let's talk some film.
Do it.
Get us up to speed.
So, yeah, I like that. Almost missed that. Almost flew over my head there. So this movie starts off with a long opening credits scene. This scene was about, I think it was a little more than 3 minutes when I timed it. Crazy long to me. How do you guys feel about it?
I have a pretty, I feel like, in between take on the, you know, the older films. They had the opening credits. You don't really see that a whole lot these days.
Yeah.
Especially the very long ones, right? On one hand, I kind of love them because they almost like, they're fun. They set the tone. I think it's cool to show like the big kind of players in the movie right off rip, right? But then most of these movies, they reach a point where they go on too long. And then I'm going, oh, this was cool until it wasn't. You know what I mean? It's like you get the score kind of going. You're like, you're setting a mood. You're seeing like, oh yeah, Keanu, Dennis Hopper, Sandra Bullock, you know, you're seeing all the stars, you see the director, oh yeah, let's go, baby. And then it's like, all right, now we're getting to like, and no offense to anybody that worked on the film,
the third
obviously.
producer.
You gotta, you know, they should be credited and appreciated. It's a collaborative effort. But I'm like, all right, man, let's get this movie on, you know,
How long is this going to take?
I always use the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies as like a reference because those ones are cool with the Alex Ross illustrations and the Danny Elfman score. But then even those, like, you get to a point where you're like, oh my God, I want to watch the movie now, like, you know. And I think there's a reason why they don't do them anymore.
Yeah.
It's that they're too long. So
for me, it's like, yeah, let's get into the movie already. Like, come on. But for this movie, I at least appreciate that the elevator goes right into the opening scene.
that is true.
So I can appreciate that. But most of the time, I'm like, let's just get on with it.
Yeah, I agree. I think the elevator was cool, and I believe that even didn't you have something on that?
Yeah, I think so the elevator shot that we're getting here with all the credits, it's like moving down the elevator shaft. It's a miniature
That's really
that they
cool.
used, and they had this miniature laid out horizontally. So they just shot it like lying down, basically, you know, so they just had the camera kind of panning over it. But that is also, it doesn't really make it, it's like, again, interesting enough when you're looking at it for a sec, and then as it keeps going, you're like, bro, I'm just looking at an elevator shaft. It's a very uninteresting like thing to be looking at.
And this is the first time I've watched the movie, so I'm like, isn't this supposed to be about a bus? Why am I watching an elevator?
Bus at? Yeah.
Where is this going?
Yeah.
When did they get on the bus?
So I'm thinking about like if I was like in the 90s watching this, I'd like go back out to see, am I in the right movie? Like what is this?
Yeah.
I do like that you said, it does go right into our opening scene, which is really cool. I just think it's too long.
Yeah.
You know, if it was half that time, I'd probably be okay with it. I think it has its charm. It's obviously, to me, it's kind of like a product of its time.
Right.
And you know, that's just how it was. But again, it's not a big deal, but it is kind of just funny how long it is. It's you know, it's kind of humorous.
Yeah,
in a way,
exactly.
But there is a charm in these credit
It's a slow
scenes.
elevator
I do
too.
like them, but a
There's
little
nothing
bit too
speed
long
about that.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And then I think so. Then when we get our first scene, we get the first reveal of the villain, Dennis Hopper, who's playing the bomber at this moment. And yeah, the security guard, he notices somebody's in there. He checks it out, and he notices him. He's kind of just like telling him like, you can't be here right now. Anyways, this guy just stabs him in the ear.
Earshot is wild.
I mean, the security guard to me felt a little uneased. You know, he was kind of like, he kind of felt sketched out to me, you know, and just gets a screwdriver or some tool
So I'm
from his
just working
bag
this
in the
job
ear.
to get me through acting classes. I don't want to do with this.
Hey, nothing personal.
You know.
Nothing personal.
He says it with a bit of a smirk, though. He enjoyed doing that.
So does Dennis Hopper, because after watching this movie, you know, obviously looking at his filmography, notice he's in a lot of Westerns. Does he, I don't know if you guys have ever seen his Westerns. No. So I wonder if he normally played the villain in these Westerns, or if he was like
I think he is a notable villain, I believe.
Okay.
I don't know too much about his films. I know he's in a lot of them.
Yeah.
But me
Just
personally,
when you Google him, it's like a lot, like most of the collage of pictures are him in Western movies.
Okay.
So I was just curious about that.
Yeah. I am unfamiliar.
Because I know you're a big Clint Eastwood guy. I don't know if he was in those, but
not to my knowledge, but who knows? I probably haven't even seen them all either, so he may or may not be.
All right. Side note.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with Dennis Hopper.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dennis.
Nothing personal.
Nothing personal. So yeah, we get a lot of those one-liners. How do you guys feel about them in this movie, just throughout?
You like almost kind of need them.
Yeah.
Right. It's like if this movie with like the corny one-liners in action movies, and this goes for any era, but specifically like the late 80s and the 90s, it's like you either do them full on and get like almost like too many of them, or you don't do them at all. That's how you got to play these movies. I don't think you can do an in between.
I am curious about, because it's they don't know what they don't know in terms of how these will age, and
True.
I was curious about how would I be in, what would the audience reaction to these be in the movie theater? Because when we're hearing them, we're bursting out laughing because it's like, these are absurd. So I'm wondering, like, did audience members then laugh at these, or were they like, oh, that was menacing? Like,
This guy means business.
Yeah,
He's fucking
It's
around.
for real.
Yeah.
He's like just joking around.
Yeah.
I'd assume, I guess those kind of have to be a little bit of a product of its time.
No,
too.
for sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
you still get that in today's movies for sure, but they're a little more like,
They're
less
more,
charm.
They're more quippy now instead of like like, see, if you are doing them though, you have to play it straight. That's the humor in it. That's the cheese. But if you're doing it in like almost a sarcastic way, well, now you're being like kind of meta. That's not funny.
Yeah, I
Because now
agree.
you're like almost embarrassed to
That's a
say
good
the
point.
embarrassing line. It's an embarrassing
'cause
line.
do you think they wrote them as this is hard, like this is like this is like scary, this is
Yeah.
intimidating, or did they write it as this is a funny joke?
Oh,
Or
I
like
think
a funny,
I'm gonna go with funny joke because
Okay.
Joss Whedon, knowing his writing style,
Okay.
he knows like, yeah, this is cheese.
he knew the movie he
but
was
say
writing.
it like play it straight,
Mm.
but you're gonna say it how I
Yeah.
wrote it because that's what makes it funny. Is that the character believes they're saying something
And
hard.
it doesn't help that Dennis Hopper also says it with a little smirk on his face every
Right,
time.
yeah.
But that's also the villain. The villainous of him is that like smugness. And
Right,
like
yeah.
he loves it a little too much.
Do you feel like some of them can take you out of the high stakes, like the high stakes scenario scenes and stuff? Like I just think it can kind of do a little bit too much at times.
Definitely, but in a way that I think works for me because I'm going. Think of the situation at hand. I mean, what the movie's even about.
Mm.
It's silly. It's clearly over the top. So if you have these characters that are also larger than life, you know the good guy's gonna win at the end. You know they're gonna get the girl probably. Not to get too ahead of myself, but like you know how these movies go.
Yeah.
If you've seen enough of them, you've seen them all. And I think it's like,
Why not?
are there really ever any stakes? Not to say this isn't a nail biter, and I've seen it many times, but there's a certain way to build suspense, and I don't think it's through lack of corny one-liners or larger than life scenarios. That stuff is the extra stuff that just like kind of builds an atmosphere. So I'm more than okay with it.
I think sometimes just to kind of have a contrarian take to that is like sometimes I think Keanu didn't know that was the movie going on around him. Like I feel like he was in such a like a this is a straight line, hard nose, like there's nothing funny about what's going on right now. And like I feel like I get invested into that portrayal that he's going for, that sometimes the one-liners did like kind of like, well, I was really liking the drama that was building there with Keanu, and then over the top one-liner. Now I'm laughing. Now I'm not thinking about. So I do think some of it may have taken me out of it a little bit. Now
Yeah.
that I'm thinking about
I can
it.
see that.
I agree, because honestly, I get fully immersed sometimes, like into this guy's ability to portray his character, and yeah, when like he says a line like that, it doesn't feel like that character. It feels like something forced that he wouldn't say, like because that's at the end of the movie, right? The one the one in particular that I'm thinking
Yeah.
of, and
That one
it's just
sucks.
it's one. It kind of made me like go, huh?
Exactly.
Like,
So when he tries
like-
to participate in that part of the movie,
it's just don't do it all the time. I think with certain characters, with the villain works. Dennis
Yeah.
Hopper, do your thing, dude. They're honestly pretty funny. And I think that's okay with that character. But if you got Keanu just kind of playing a little more straight, you can still have his one-liners here and there, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But I think something as ridiculous as the one at the end that we'll get to is it just doing a bit too much, you know? All right, and then we get our captain of the movie, who I think we noticed him from the DC movies.
Oh yeah.
As Victor Stone's dad, Silas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know the actor's name. Not off the top of my
Me
head.
either.
He's in Terminator 2 as well.
We'll throw you in the edit.
So
Sorry.
I'll throw you in the edit. Sir, don't worry, you're a great actor, but I don't know your name.
But we got him breaking down the details of what's going down in this next situation. So the bomber trapped 13 passengers in an elevator cart, and he blows some brakes off. They're falling, and we
What
get
button did you push there?
yeah, we get him talking to his team, and then that's when we get the Jack and Harry reveal. Our Keanu and Jeff Daniels duo. And from there, they get the rundown of the situation. This guy's asking for $3 million, and they have a certain amount of time to do it. And I think at the time that's like 23 minutes left. He gave them an hour initially, and so we get the duo doing their best. They can't defuse it. It's too sophisticated. He's crazy, not stupid. And so they decide pull an audible. Jack he takes him to the roof, takes his team to the roof. They get a rooftop crane to hold the elevator from falling if he tries to blow the emergency brakes. Because I think Jack even says that this guy would just blow it anyways. right? So it's like if we do what he says, if he wins all that, he's still just gonna do it because he's just no one does this and doesn't, go through with their plans. And so he hooks the elevator up and he does stop it momentarily. It is too much weight for the crane. It does fall, but it does give him enough time to get the passengers out. And I love the last lady that doesn't want to get out because she's too scared in the moment, which honestly, rightfully so. That's an insane situation.
She's paralyzed in fear. Yeah.
But when you get a calm Jack telling you, "Hey, it's gonna be all right. Just take my hand," and you go, "No, he straight up, come on, come on.
That wakes her up.
It does put a fire under her ass, get out of there.
Kind of snaps her out of it.
Yeah, gets her out. They save the day, at least momentarily, because now they have to look for the bomber, and they figure they hadn't looked in the freight elevators yet. Find him in there. The guy just starts popping shotgun rounds off, and I believe Harry falls in. Bomber takes him as hostage, and so they're doing like this little standoff between the bomber and Jack. And what does Harry say? He says,
shoot the hostage.
Shoot the hostage.
Because earlier,
that's right. Yeah,
because he was like, we should shoot the hostage, take away his like leverage or whatever.
Yeah.
So Harry tells
back there right away. Shoot the hostage. Shoots him in the leg.
Yeah.
And then the bomber's like, what just happened?
It works. Like he's like,
it does
oh
work.
shit,
it does work.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
So he walks out of there. Bombs go off. Jack flies back, and then I think we get like just however many days later, we see him receiving awards for that heroism.
Right. Yeah. Because it's presumed that the bomber killed himself with the bomb strapped to his chest.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, they defeated the bad guy. They saved all the hostages. You guys are heroes.
So yeah, the guy seemingly dies. They're getting awarded, and it's again days later. I know they have that like kind of they're celebrating, and Harry and Jack are kind of talking, just kind of reminiscing of what happened, and Harry's just drunk as hell, but he's kind of in his feels like they could have died that day. Like this guy was crazy, Anyways, days later, however many time.
There's one line from that needs to be said.
Oh yes, please say it.
Guts will only get you so far, and then they'll get you killed. I think.
Great line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Keanu's like,
you're just drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah. So moments pass, and we get the next scene of a Jack going into some store getting breakfast or something because it's in the morning, and he walks out. Well, bus just blows up. Goes over there to help. There's nothing to help. The damage is done. You can't help. Here's a call from a payphone. Goes over. Who is it? It's the bomber. He didn't die. So he's telling him he's kind of just letting him know how pissed he is that he ruined his 2-year plan of that elevator bombing to get his $3 million, and he's just letting him know he's gonna play this game with Jack, and there's no way out. There's no way he could win, and just kind of now he's just having fun with him, still trying to get his money, but now it's personal. Now it is personal, right? Because now he's pissed. Well, it is personal now. He's targeting Jack specifically, and so he tells him the situation. There's another bomb that's armed under some bus in the city. We don't know where yet. And if it reaches a speed of 50 miles per hour, the bomb is armed. If it drops below 50 miles per hour after being armed, blows up. Everybody with it. Lets him know the situation. Jack is like, he's like, where's the bomb? What bus is it? And he's like, you think I'd tell you that? He's like, yes. He's like, well, he's just like basically like, yeah,
you're right. Yeah.
I guess I kind of do.
I need you to play the game. Yeah. This wouldn't be any fun without it. So he's just like, all right, well, all right. So he just tells him where the bomb is. Jack doesn't even question it. He doesn't even let him finish talking. Doesn't hang up the phone. He rushes to his Bronco, his white Bronco. And what do we see in this one where he's finding the bus in the city?
we see this white Bronco, and we get aerial footage. This is very similar
On LA freeways,
to
by
one
the way.
O.J. Simpson chase. It is very iconic. That coincidentally, the O.J. chase had actually not happened yet. It took place exactly 1 week after this movie premiered.
Well, inspiration.
So weird that it's a white Bronco specifically in LA. You get this like very similar like kind of footage, like
Down
aerial
that
shots.
105 or 110, whatever it was.
Like on the highway in LA. Incredibly weird timing. It's very funny because I made a joke about that when we were watching. I was like, oh, it's like, you know, it's like they just put OJ footage in this.
That's what I'm saying.
And then I looked it up, and it's literally in the same week that these two events actually took place. So weird.
Imagine having tickets to Speed that night of the car chase, and then seeing that in the movie you bought tickets for.
Yeah.
That would be an insane day. That's
OJ just
crazy.
doing promo
Wow,
OJ
that's
itself
an
is
interactive
insane.
Promotion.
Oh
I
my
really
god,
like that.
it's crazy because
Wow, they got that OJ to do the promo.
I
for
mean,
the
yeah,
new
he
Speed?
is doing the naked gun now,
Yeah.
so he's dipping his toe.
so
Maybe he has a cameo in that new Speed movie. Yeah.
so we do get Jack hauling ass to find this bus. He does find it, but it's in a lot of traffic. He has to get out where, you know, there's just a traffic jam on some kind of frontage road or freeway or some sort. And he spots it, but he gets on foot. He's trying to chase it, and he's chasing it down. He's telling him let him in, but he's not even telling him that he's an officer first. Like
Yeah.
right away, he eventually does. But like for the first good, like, I don't even know, like quarter mile, he's running with it, and he's just like banging on the bus to, like, you know, he's frantic, so he's just trying to stop him by any means, but so maybe he's not thinking, but it's like, I don't know, you could have like showed your badge maybe.
Is that when we get him punching the window?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's real.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
happened
did that,
for real?
and it accidentally
I bet
cracked.
the
Yeah, and
director,
DePaul was
I bet
like,
the director
hey,
was
I
like,
like
oh,
that.
that's sick.
Yeah, it's his idea to
He's
leave
like,
it
yeah,
in.
keep
He's
it
like,
in that.
yeah, just leave it in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And we've already also gotten Annie introduced into the movie.
That's correct. Yeah, when we see him taking off, we see the bus stopping where Annie was trying to go to the
Right.
bus stop, but she's a little late there, and she had to.
Kind of a similar.
The bus
run-in for
driver
the bus.
have a relationship. You could tell because he's just messing with her by just
Yeah.
driving off, you know. And so after that, yeah, we get everybody in the bus. Like, this guy's crazy. Keep driving. Like, let's not let him in. So he ends up getting in, or actually not yet. Sorry, he steals a car with the guy still in it. He just moves to the passenger seat.
It's a great scene.
Yeah, it is. I think that guy is in Menace to Society.
Really.
Yeah, I want to say. Either
I
way,
like-
around that time, I think it came out maybe a little bit before.
I like that
I don't
guy's
know the
energy
timeline
in
on
that scene.
Yeah,
I did.
I liked him. He was cool.
It reminded me of watching like The Last Dance, like kind of the outfit he was wearing, like the same kind of
Oh,
like
yeah.
like
I could-
just
yeah.
that 90s swag, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
a Jag. I think it was a Jag.
It is a Jag.
I
Yeah,
was like,
very cool car.
It's like I would
I think
be,
that's what he's credited
yeah.
as Jaguar guy or Jaguar owner.
yeah,
It's like I'd be
Yeah.
pissed too if someone
Hey,
was
he-
trying to steal this.
he's in Cruise. He's in Speed too.
Oh, really? They
Yeah.
brought his character back?
They brought him back.
Really?
Was that cool?
They
You
brought
know?
him
That's
back. Let's
cool.
bring back Jaguar
Yeah,
owner.
yeah.
Yeah.
Literally, it doesn't have a name in the movie.
So we get him in that car that he steals from that guy, and he's riding it. He's just trying to get in front of it to just slow him down. He does eventually tell him that he's an officer. They're like, all right, but before he can even, they like, and everybody on the bus, including the bus driver, like know what's going on. Like they've already armed the bomb. They reach 50 miles per hour. So now Jack jumps on it. Everybody's like, what the hell is going on here? He's trying to keep it low key, you know, to start, to not like startle anybody. But that guy pulls a gun, like one of the passengers pulls a gun, and that's where we get him shooting the bus driver. So now Sandra takes over. This guy's injured, and the guy just seems scared, I guess, like of previous, like he might have been arrested on a previous thing that he did. I don't know. He's just overthinking everything, and
Yeah.
he gets scared. That happens, and we get Gigantor trying to take the gun away from him because he's calming him down at first, you know, but Gigantor ends up saving the day a little bit, except kind of not, because now the bus driver gets shot. Anyway, so Sandra takes over. So now we got her driving the bus for, well, until it blows up later. And everybody's trying to figure out how they go about it because they're running out of road. They got traffic. You got the police coming up on like some flatbed truck to get the passengers off, but Jack is letting him know, like letting the captain know, like, anybody gets off the bus, he's blowing it. They got aerial footage with helicopters, so like a lot of news cameras on him. And he also, well, I guess I won't say this yet, but he just has eyes on him. By the way, he's watching them, and I know you noticed that he was watching a football game.
Yeah. It's got
On
like
multiple
6
screens?
different TVs, and one of them is just a football game going on in the corner.
Yeah.
And I was like, out of all of it, like he's still got a game
Oh, he's
on.
cheering.
Yeah.
He's having a time. He's having a ball with his little day that he planned there, you know? Freak. Yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. Oh, the game's on though.
Yeah.
Can't miss that.
Got big money on that.
It's my team.
Yeah.
Ride or die.
I got $3 million on them to win this.
Yeah, maybe that's what he needed the money for. That's pretty good. So they're trying to figure out what to do. They do negotiate with the bomber about getting at least the bus driver off because he's injured. An act of good faith, he says. They do it, but then Helen on the bus, she's freaking out, and she tries to step off. Well, it's too late. Although, you watch that scene, I think Jack could have saved her. He was right there, and he could have just grabbed her back forcefully, sure, but like
needed
he
to
also
happen,
saved
though.
her life by doing that.
Here's my thing about that.
I don't know.
Did he tell them that if they get off? Yeah, he does tell them that, right? So he establishes like, if you guys try to get off,
he's got cameras on us.
yeah. So if you guys try to get off, he'll blow. But then it's like, okay, so they let the bus driver off because they negotiated that. So Jack, bro, why are you not standing in front of the door, like just like to make sure no one tries to like do what
He's also like
I know it has to
over her
happen.
shoulder in this scene where she's standing on the steps. So
Yeah.
There's
Either way.
probably a better way to do it, but I do think that needed to happen. Somebody
yeah.
needed to die.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you need to see that
Some
the guy is
consequences.
not
Yeah.
lying about the fact that not only can he see you,
he's a legit.
but he
he's,
will
yeah.
follow through on
Yeah.
his. He's like, no, I will.
He's
kill
crazy.
Yeah.
He's not stupid.
Yeah.
And
He's certainly not bluffing either.
no,
so,
yeah.
yeah, it needs to happen for sure.
And obviously they couldn't have known that he just had those bombs at the steps.
Yeah.
Because obviously not the entirety of the bomb of his big bomb to blow up the whole bus blows up. So Jack looks under the bus, tries to get a look at the bomb, calls his boy Harry up to see if he can help because he's like the guy. He's got bomb knowledge, and he's that dude. But he's even telling him it's like,
hungover.
yeah,
What's the best hangover remedy? A high stakes situation that you need to help your partner through.
and he's trying to help him out again. Kind of useless again because this guy's just like, fuck, that's a really sophisticated bomb. Let's not risk it. You know, we can't risk it. And so they don't go through with it. And I believe this is when Jack tries to get off the bus at this point. So he does get off because he's needing to kind of regroup with his team and figure out what to do. And everybody's kind of like, yo, where are you going? Kind of deal. Either way, so they cook up a plan, and he decides to get on like some like little, what would you call that? Like little thing he lays under to get under the bus.
It's like some kind of like
dolly?
little cart. Yeah. Or
Yeah,
like
like I was gonna say cart. Yeah,
Yeah.
little something, whatever it is, a little flat to the floor, so you can go under the bus and get a better look. Well, as he's doing that, the bus like runs over some like, was it like debris or
yeah, it was just like something in the road.
debris in the road.
Well,
I
this
guess.
is when they're at the airport now, right?
Oh, they have made their way. I did skip over that, so they do. Oh, because I skipped the jump.
Yeah. We'll get back to it. I think it is important to note that from the moment he gets on the bus, we are in the movie's name.
Yes.
It is edge of your seat. Holy cow, we are in this. You're suffocated in this bus with him. It's like, this is really fun action. Like, this is really suspenseful, and like you are just in locks. Like, you know, her trying to get off the bus. I can imagine you just like being again in the theater watching, like, stop, like, get back in the bus. Like, you don't understand. And like, for a movie to be able to just throw you into that, and it's just, I think it's beautiful action movie making. And I already knew that I was already enjoying the movie, but now it's like, this is
No, that's a good
There's
point.
not like a whole lot of like, I don't know how to say, like, there's really not a whole lot going on. because it's them just problem solving, but in one location, right? They're just on the bus. We'll cut to Harry at the precinct here and there, like over the phone, and then every once in a while we'll cut to the villain in his little lair, and that's really our only main locations that we're kind of cutting between, with majority of it just being on the bus. Like, yeah, it's a speeding bus. They're having to navigate LA traffic while maintaining their speed so it doesn't blow up, and figuring out a way to either disarm the bomb or get the passengers off before the bomb goes off. Because at some point it's going to go off. I mean, and that's like the movie.
The only character exposition that we get in this movie is Dennis Hopper's character.
Right.
He's the only one that gets any, like, you're just thrown into these people's day and you're just going with them.
And you'll never learn any, like, you don't learn any backstory about Jack's life at all.
How did they become partners, like this and that? But we'll get to it too. But yeah, I just want to say, like, now it is speed. Like,
yeah, because they do have to navigate through the LA traffic and just like the city streets, where to go, where they have enough space to keep the speed up, without having to worry about turns and traffic.
Bus going at least 50 miles an hour, and it's like you're trying to make these rather tight turns, and you're like, how do we even pull that off in this big vehicle? And at a certain point, they do get escorted by other police.
They didn't do a good job at times, though.
They did not. They did actually a pretty horrible job because they get diverted sometimes. Yeah. The whole thing.
I just love me some Sandra Bee. Always have, always will. And for me to have not seen this movie, I didn't even know she was in this movie until we were talking about it before. I love her confidence behind the wheel and also her worry, naturally, like, what am I about to do here, Jack? What should I do? But like also not like losing control and like hysterically doing something like. Maybe like sometimes in movies it would be portrayed like she's locked in, she's dialed in, but also like, yo, what are we doing here? Because I'm going through, I'm now in the streets, so what are we doing? And I bought her character immensely.
Her very frantic energy is great, but it's I like that it is offset by the fact that she's not like an idiot. She's very capable. She's just freaking out given the circumstances. Go figure.
But then we get that funny scene of them. They're losing road. It's an unfinished freeway, and actually at the time they're driving actually on a freeway that hadn't opened quite just yet. It is a finished road, obviously, that they're driving on. But to make this 50-foot jump at least, they did have to manufacture it a little bit. I think they used some matte paintings and obviously a lot of editing to make
awesome
it look like there's no road there.
YouTube videos behind the scenes.
I saw a few. Yeah.
We probably watched the same ones but they act like
it's really cool.
Because it's an actual stunt driver in there. And they show like the actual footage of the raw, like just the jump. And the thing that I think the biggest takeaway from it is they didn't expect the front of the bus to pop up as much. So like they didn't get like their like I think side shot that they wanted because the bus got, so you get the one where it's coming at you a little bit, but it's CGI'd the gap. And after go watch the behind the scenes of how this stunt was performed.
It's actually really interesting.
It's really great movie making. It's like practical. It's not miniatures. It's like they really went for it. Yeah. And respect to stuntmen. And just a little funny thing that the stunt coordinator was talking about in these videos was how my favorite stuntmen are guys that have a little bit of fear, like that they're aware of like the gravity of the situation. He's like, when you get guys that are just like trying to be cowboys out there, like that's when you get
ends
hurt.
Up a little being a little careless. Yeah. He's
like, and interesting. He's like, once the scene starts, it's in their hands. Like they are like anything can happen. Whatever they want to, if they want to try and be a cowboy and do something crazy, it's up to them because now we're rolling. So anyway,
I think they used two buses because the first take that they tried to do, the bus landed too smoothly.
Yeah.
And then they went with the second one. I think they kind of, I want to say, if I remember right, they combined shots of the first and second one kind of. Okay. Again, there's so many angles that it cuts through. And I think you made a comment saying like, get like 13 different shots for this.
Oh yeah, that's the money shot.
You gotta use it. You gotta use it. That's really cool.
Also, it bugged me that Jack like tackles Annie he like
Yeah.
it's like, dude, she's got to have the wheel once you land.
Right,
You could it's
Just
like I
veer
get
off.
that
He's
you're
like bracing them, but
I get that you're a lonely guy and you're looking for female companionship, and this is your opportunity to like build something up here, and like, I got you. But also, she's the one driving, man. Get off of her.
yeah.
So
Oh,
funny.
man.
But yeah,
It is a
cool-
good scene.
It's a cool jump.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. That was actually really good.
So then that's when we get the police escort telling him, "Hey, we got you an emergency landing strip on at LAX. You can just drive around that to buy us some time."
Because they're also losing fuel.
Yeah.
Not just yet.
No, that hasn't
So
happened
that's
yet.
when he goes under. This
Oh,
is where this
you're
is
right,
where
you're right, you're right.
Thank you
let's
for finishing
yeah.
that. Now
Yeah.
we're back to where I accidentally skipped a little bit ahead.
Yeah,
We're good.
no,
We're
you're
good.
right.
Keep it going. And that's when he's under the bus and he's trying to get a little better look at the what they're dealing with bomb
The
wise.
bomb, yeah.
You can take it off or whatever. Anyways, hits some debris. This guy loses what he was laying on, the little cart thing. And the only thing he has is leverage to like hang on is that he stabs his screwdriver into the fuel tank.
Right.
And so he's hanging on. Now he's dealing with another problem. Again, two of them haven't even been the bomber's thing. It was the guy on board with the gun and he gets shot. So now they lose the actual bus driver. Thankfully, Sandra Bullock passed her bus driving test, but obviously your character is not equipped with that. And but then we get just the fuel tank.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a little mishap too, but another thing that he dealt with that the bomber didn't even issue. Either way,
Is he
that
back
just sucks.
there? Do you see him?
Yeah. So we get Gigantor saving the day again, and he pulls him right up from under, and so they're trying to figure out now they got to deal with losing gas fuel, and I think at this point the bomber calls him because he prompts him, calling Annie, referring to her as Wildcat. Also, because that gives Jack a clue after they get off with the phone call. Because then he looks down and Annie's sweater that she has behind her is from the University of Arizona, and he realizes with that he's got eyes in the bus, and now he's trying to play it cool. He's trying to locate it. Sees it's behind like the mirror of the bus, and right at the front he has a view of the whole entire bus, and so he realizes that, and they get the bright idea to tape over it, make it a constant loop, and they do just that, and after that they do get the passengers off. That's it's kind of like Bang Bang too, right? After that happens, they get the passengers off, and you're like, okay, but you're like, is it almost over? Well.
Yeah.
They do get off, and we get Annie and Jack. The last one's on there because you got to keep the speed going still. So he kind of rigs something to keep it going while they slide with that little like the top cover of the floor of the bus.
The panel.
Yeah, a little panel there. Slide under, make a cool slide into like the airport cones on the landing strip. Little slide there.
That's a cool little.
That is
little
cool.
moment, yeah.
And you think it ends there?
Well, I do want to note here, we did skip over another big kind of moment and motivator for our hero here. Well, at a certain point when they're trying to deduce who this bomber is, Harry did find out who it was. They track down his address. They go to his house. The SWAT team and everything, they pull up. Well, it was booby trapped. And he fucking blows up. So Harry dies.
He does
Which is
die.
kind of like, it's cool explosion, first of all, but it's also like, did you not think that he would have something kind of like, I don't know, it seemed like,
it is.
bro, are you dumb?
It is cool to see Jeff Daniels in some like SWAT gear,
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's
That's
pretty
pretty
Daniels,
neat.
great dramatic actor too.
Yeah, I agree. And the thing is with that scene where he looks at like, is it like the oven timer or something like
and
that?
he just realizes that it's
Right. He
just
sees it. He notices it. He knows. Yeah. He's
been had.
Yeah. He's got. And I saw an interview with him. I think he was on the Rich Eisen show, and he was talking about that scene in particular, like his decision. You might not even have noticed it, but he has like a slight, like, not smirk, but he has his like lips kind of upwards slightly. That way, when it cuts back to him noticing the timer, he drops it.
No, and that's a perfect
little subtlety there.
And
That's some good acting.
I think he understands that his lips are very unique to his face. Personally, for me, like when I'm watching Jeff Daniels, I like look at his mouth a lot because I think it's always moving in different ways. Like, so I think he knew that people would notice his like. For me personally, I think I did see that because I think he's got a very unique mouth.
Yeah.
But this was what I was alluding to earlier, that the lack of exposition and still see how Jack reacts to him dying.
Right.
You're like, oh, okay. Like I don't need to know like how long they've been serving together, how long. All I know is that he's pissed that he's dead and that he's hurt that he's dead.
Yeah.
So that tells me that they were working together for a long time. And
like even Annie's reaction to him, like just, you know, pulling on the bar in the bus after he gets the news, like is even their chemistry, you know, like they got it going to where it's like she has this nice touch of humor when she needs to use it that feels natural, but then she's got this like deeper emotional
Sandra Bullock
scenes.
charm, baby. Come on.
Sandra B.
Yeah, sorry,
knows
Ellen.
Really good performance. Yeah,
she knows how to calm him down. It's kind of nice.
I know. That's what I mean. She has this like, and she's like soft spoken.
And also that's they use the line twice after they get off the bus and they kiss, and it's like, what do they say about relationships starting in
under extreme circumstances
they don't work. I like that.
I like that too. Their back and forth is really good in this movie, and when they slide across those cones and then they have that little moment where you just mentioned too, it's you believe it. You know, now we get the big explosion at the end here with the bus finally detonating into an airplane. And I know when we watched it, you would question what that may have been, if it was real or if it was miniatures, right?
Yeah, so I was convinced, I didn't know, but I was like, surely they did not blow up an actual airplane. Like, it looks sick. The explosion is super dope. They have like, this is the one where I remember you also mentioning where like, there's like 20 different angles of this shot, because this is like truly the money shot. You got to get like this massive explosion. I'm thinking
your
like,
money's worth.
And I'm going like, they had to have done this on a, you know, like a miniature. You know, and it looks great. I'm like, man, for a miniature shot, that's pretty cool. No, they blew up a plane for real.
They did.
So I'm like,
they got it
oh,
for
that's
80,
why it looks so legit. Like,
how much?
80,000.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
that's a good deal. I feel like massive plane to blow up.
Yeah. I know.
Super awesome.
Because that was my thing too. I just thought probably not, just because of how expensive that would have been for, I guess, the one use. But I mean, it is cool.
But you have all those angles, like, well, we're gonna capture this one way or another.
I'm sure that was a stressful day on set. Like, it's airplane day. It's airplane day.
Yeah.
Oh
like,
my
Can't mess this up.
it.
We got
Everybody lock in. We're about to blow up this airplane.
We got one shot at this, guys. All right.
We don't have a backup plane. We gotta blow up this one and get it on.
Yeah, that would be stressful.
Yeah.
They got it.
I enjoyed
it.
Yeah,
it is
super
awesome.
cool shot.
Yeah. So movie doesn't end though, because now the cash drop still has to happen, and they do drop it off at the trash can where this guy, I mean, the bomber has eyes on it. At this point, his name is Howard Payne. He's got eyes on it. He knows every which way they are because he's a former cop, so he knows their strategy. He spots some snipers on some other building rooftops and whatnot out through windows, and so conveniently, he goes down to his plan, and he's in a cop uniform, and Annie is just on the street, like watching it all go down from a distance. Like, I know it's implied that she's getting like, you know, touched up on
she's
medically,
like right
because
of yeah, but it's like she's just
why
kind
are
of
you right
cruising
there?
around.
Look, I know you guys had said that. Why are you sticking? Like, why are you there still? Personally, if I was just in that whole situation, I kind of want to sit and see what happens after. I might be sticking around also.
I'm getting the hell out of there.
Get the hell, go home. You should have been home.
I feel safe around
or
Jack.
at least like in a hospital.
Or, well,
like,
yeah,
you
but
know,
like just not there.
Protective custody or something. Like, dude, get me
Why did the
out
ambulance go there? Would they have gone to a hospital?
Yeah, you're right. Why are they in the corner where the terrorist would be? Or something.
Maybe she's hoping she's going to be able to go grab a drink with Jack after.
Yeah, like, oh, Jack's got this handled now.
Yeah,
and,
I feel safe now.
Hey, what time do you get off? You know, kind of shit. I have no idea. It's really weird, but she's vulnerable now.
Dennis found her. The bomber found her. He grabs her as hostage, and Jack, at that time where they head off to wherever his route was going, we get him checking out the trash can because he saw like a garbage truck dump or take something from there, dump something, goes to check it out. Well, there's a hole through the garbage can, and it leads to the subway.
That's bad policing too. Like, you got to investigate the can that you're dropping the money
Hey,
in.
Jack just went through his ordeal. It was the other people's.
I know, that's
No,
what
yeah,
you know, that's terrible.
Bad
Yeah,
look on their end. Yeah,
but
it's
I
like,
guess maybe they thought it could be rigged of a bomb.
True.
That's
too.
true.
I don't know.
It's true.
That's a tough situation.
Yeah.
Either way, Jack doesn't even think of that. He just
Yeah.
takes the
when did
trash
he
can
make
out.
that hole though?
I don't know.
Because if that was like days in advance,
yeah.
how long is that
That's
hole
it
just
seems
been
like a
chilling there?
pretty
No one
mid-
saw this
Seems
fucking
like a pretty
hole.
busy intersection.
Yeah,
Busy, yeah.
no one saw this
Maybe
hole in the
from
road?
under, but then it's a
even
subway though.
In the subway, yeah, no one
I
I
saw.
don't know.
Just
Who
like
knows?
setting up construction signs and just
Yeah, I guess like whatever. He's just a construction dude.
Well, it leads
that
to
was like a full underminer tunnel though.
Yeah.
Like that was
it leads to the great ending that we get
Yeah.
though, because
Yeah.
Jack goes through the hole, follows the trail. Pop quiz. I
Pop
haven't
quiz,
noted
hot
down,
shot.
but yeah, pop quiz, hot shot. You know, I love that.
He says it like because they say that at the beginning of the movie, and he overhears that the villain. So then the villain mocks him with that like 3 or 4
he's-
separate times. It's
he
like,
said-
all right.
he calls him asshole instead of hot shot. He goes, pop quiz, asshole. You have a hair trigger aimed at your head. What do you do? So, and then we get the reveal. It's Annie with a bomb strapped to her, wearing a bomb vest. And now he realizes, okay, I'm in another shitty situation. How does it? He can't keep getting away with this. And so he goes. So Dennis appears, and he has a trigger to the bomb. But if he releases, so if he gets shot, he's probably gonna release that trigger, blows them all up. So Jack can't shoot him. She gets taken as hostage, and I love when they leave wherever they lead to get on their train. They go through this door. He goes, bye Jack. Punk. Punk.
He just closes the door.
closes it,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's just like, all right.
Yes. So they make their way to the train and they get on it. Jack follows. He hops on it too. He has a gun. Howard gets everybody off the train. And then so at this point, he's got her handcuffed around a rail of the pole in the train. He shoots the conductor. He's taken out of the equation because I think he was reaching for like his radio, possibly.
Yeah, I think so.
He saw that and he was like, well, I don't need you. So he just takes him out. But he hears Jack on the top of the roof. He starts firing off shots. He's pissed. After he fires off shots, he opens the bag of money because he's kind of flaunting it, like what he got away with.
Yeah.
And then we get him sprayed in the face with the blue ink.
Yeah,
Our
that stuff
second
doesn't come
consecutive
off, right?
episode of a blue face.
Yeah. That's so funny.
That's great. So after that happens, he's pissed that happened. He goes up immediately to the roof, and Jack doesn't even know because he like gets just swung
He
on.
literally sneaks up on him
Yeah.
somehow, like crawling.
Yeah.
And he just like socks him in the face.
They start going at it. They start grappling and wrestling. And as he's on top of him, the bomber's on top of him, and he's kind of again just saying his great little like he just has to get it
He's
out
just
there, right?
taunting
He's
him
just
the whole
taunting
time.
him.
Yeah.
Just oh my god, it's great. And then he says, "I'm smarter than you," and then we get Jack pushing his head up and gets decapitated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of those like signs or whatever in the
Yeah, it's like
subway
a
tunnel.
It's like a red light.
Yeah, it's some kind of indicator sign.
Tunnel light, yeah. I think it's to like indicate that there's the trail up ahead, the railroads up
Yeah.
ahead are being worked on. It's
Yeah.
just like you can't go there.
So he, holds his head up to and
Clean
Jack's obviously
decap.
laying down.
Clean,
Yeah, and
dude.
just straight knocks his head off. Hilarious
Jack isn't that reactive to it,
to a man losing his head.
Just says, yeah, well, I'm taller.
and that's the line that kind of took me out.
That is the
a
worst
little
line
bit.
in the
It's
movie.
hilarious though, like it is funny,
Yeah,
but also what the hell?
that's supposed to be like the final like badass one liner, and I
It ain't no yippee-ki-yay.
no, it's
No, it's
yes,
not.
yeah, no happy trails, Hans, no like, what do they say in the faculty? What does he say at the end? Guaranteed to jack you
yeah.
up. It's
Even
not
that
that.
is
That's
way
like
better.
honestly even kind of
Makes
cool.
sense.
Yeah, exactly.
And
But
it's a callback to
Yeah, it's a
what happened.
callback.
This genuinely just had us scratching our
I know,
heads
I was
like,
like, what?
Taller?
yeah. What does your height have to do with like I don't? It's really dumb. But
Well, And he still has the bomb strapped to her chest. And he does defuse it. He does, that goes away, but she's still handcuffed around the pole. He doesn't have keys. He can't like kick it out. He can't break out of it. So what does Jack decide to do? Let's speed it up. Could he not have just slowed it down?
And even
See,
if
that's
he
what-
couldn't
yeah.
have, it's like
He
what is
pushed up with the lever.
I'm
Is
not-
it not functional
I'm
to
no,
go down?
I'm no train conductor, but
No,
it
I
feels
know.
like that should also
You would
decelerate.
think.
I mean, obviously, Newton isn't here with us to really divulge all of the laws of physics here and objects being in motion. But I don't know how fast you could slow down. But
There
still,
is construction ahead.
Yeah.
Right.
Train makes its way over
great
there.
scene of those constru-
Oh,
Whoa!
what the hell?
Okay.
Yeah, speeds through. It hits like I saw like a behind the scenes of the making of this shot too. It's pretty cool the way they shot it. But yeah, it just goes upward and shoots out through like this ramp towards just like the street
literally
level
bursts through onto street level. So
Yeah.
it bursts through the road.
and of like that unfinished. Yeah.
Yeah.
So burst through. We do get the ending of the movie. Everybody huddles around what just happened. Like you got everybody like cheering. They're making out. You get the credits start to roll as
Yeah.
the camera pans outwards of the street and just into like a wide
You
shot.
see our hero, he beat the bad guy, he got the girl, he lost his best friend. Classic story. We've seen it, but it's like, it doesn't matter how many times I've seen that formula. Speed is one of those ones that not only gets it right, but is like super, super dope the whole time.
How many
Yeah.
bus jumps do you get to see in a movie?
Yeah. Like, I'll take that any day. It's awesome. It's
Yeah.
just sick.
It's
and
great.
Keanu really does like, he's just like cool as fuck, man. He's really cool. And Sandra,
Yeah.
great.
Have you guys been to Universal Studios?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you do like the tour of like movie sets that like
I believe we did.
Mm,
you
Yeah.
know the when you're going through the subway and like the earthquake starts happening and like things start falling? I don't know why the train coming out of the ground reminded me of like something I'd see on that tour of
Yeah,
Universal.
no, I agree. I mean, because it's all practically
Yeah.
done, it
Yeah.
looks kind of cheesy
Yeah,
in that
but
way.
I love it. I
Yeah,
love
no,
it.
but it's literally like like one of those like Universal Studio rides, like
Yeah.
or like the tour, and you see
Yeah.
it like burst through or something.
Yeah.
You're like asphalt,
Mm.
you
Yeah.
know, and it's like foam
Yeah,
or whatever. Yeah, but it's a great ending. It all wraps up nicely. And again, we never learned anything about who Jack is outside of his job and his objective here.
You just know
And
he's
you
that
don't
guy.
need to. Yeah. Just fucking him.
I'm curious if anybody has broken down how much property damage was done throughout this movie, throughout all the cars that were smashed,
Oh God.
the plane that exploded,
Mhm.
driving the new construction. I mean, that set back that project. Probably
Oh.
start from scratch there,
Yeah.
compadres. Like, I don't know what to tell you, but I mean that rivals Superman. That kind of damage.
Yeah.
But you had to do what you had to do.
Can't save the day if there ain't property damage throughout the city.
Yeah. What can you do?
Yeah.
Which kind of goes with it.
Part of the job.
Part of the job. Well, that just about does it for me. Do you guys have anything else before we get in our scores?
Oh man, that's speed.
Yeah, that's speed.
That's
Let's get into
baby.
scores.
Get into our scores.
Should I mention our scoring method here?
Yes, please do.
So we are
Please do.
going to continue our, of course, just our normal scores based on the filmmaking on display or how we feel about it or whatever. We have a new scoring method for this movie and probably action movies.
I would like to see for action.
It's a working title, but we're going with the Octane Odometer. So this is just how we're grading this movie from a like action movie perspective, like what we got out of that. So we'll be giving the movie 2 separate scores each.
Yes.
So Tanner, you're our host this week. Start us off.
So I picked this movie. It's a personal favorite of mine, personal childhood favorite. Still, I mean, if I watch it like I did recently, it still holds up in my opinion. Maybe there's nostalgia bias with it. Either way, can't get any more classic with a movie like this that may or may not be forgotten amongst the 90s action movies. And maybe even amongst our peers. They might have not even seen it.
I know.
Who knows?
I knew it was
You
a movie-
haven't seen it. I just noticed that. Yeah. I mean, we'll get into your score, but I really enjoyed it. Had a fun time with it. Always do when I watch it. So my initial rating will be, I'm I think I'm going with an 8.0, just straight up 8.
Okay.
I can't think of a reason to give it lower. Only, again, I think some bias is involved with that, but either way, I think it's a solid 8 for me. There's some cheese, but hey, it comes with the product of its time. I'm not knocking the cheese. In fact, I like it personally. But either way, my odometer score, I'm gonna have to go at 9.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's right up there. It's not the best in terms of like movies that I think are better than this, like Die Hard off the top of my head, and probably maybe some others, obviously, but solid 9. I think I can't go wrong with that. What more do you want from this film?
Yeah.
Classic.
Nice. Yeah, this has been a longtime favorite of mine. I love action movies. I love the 80s and I love the 90s for action. And I think, you could call it a Die Hard ripoff. You could call it a this or that. Every action movie is like, again, roughly the same. Like, it's rare that you get something that's completely original. Everything's derivative of something. And that goes for any genre, but if we're talking about action specifically, yeah, you're going to get a lot of similarities. Again, maybe it's just me, but I could watch any one of those ripoffs or copies or whatever 1,000 times. First of all, if you're copying Die Hard, probably a good place to start. So I'm not knocking you for that. This movie rips. Like, the performances are awesome. The score, we didn't talk about the score. The score is sick.
Yeah.
Like, legit,
It's
really,
really good.
really good.
Yeah.
The score is awesome. I think, it's not doing anything fancy with the cinematography. It's not doing anything fancy throughout, aside from the stunts and the explosions and, the big set pieces, but it does those exceptionally well. Yeah, I'll just keep it simple, man. I'm going to give, from a pure filmmaking perspective, I'm also going to give it an 8. Actually, just a flat 8. I think that is a very fair score. It is not a perfect film.
No.
It's not a Best Picture winner. It is an Oscar winner, so shout out to Speed for being a 3-time Oscar nominee, 2-time winner. Crazy that it did that. Don't know if it even deserves those, but I'm not going to knock it. Again, I love this film. Octane Odometer. I'm sorry. Again, I'm trying to process what we're even calling that, but
The
the
work in
odometer
progress.
score. Let us know if you have a better title for that, but
I like it personally.
I'm giving it a 10 for the Octane Odometer because this movie is just as high octane of an action movie as you can get. It's, hey, there's a bomb on a speeding bus. Shit, that's a 10 for me. Like, it's simple enough of a concept, and it's just funny enough, just cool enough, and just as intense enough. Gotta love it. So that's all I have to say about Speed.
Yeah, I mean, this was a movie that I knew that I always needed to watch, and you start doom scrolling on Netflix and you can never find the movie. Like, you're just like, oh, I'll get around to that. And Speed was always one of those movies that I was going to get around to. Yeah. So glad I finally watched it. It's everything I want out of an action movie, everything I want out of a 90s action movie. And originally I had my score in the 7s. And I had it lower than I had my Birdman score, just because I was like, I don't know if I could give Speed higher than Birdman. But then I was like, no, that's not fair to Speed, because I have to look at every movie in its own world and its own, like, I'm not comparing, it's not comparing apples to apples. So I think this is a backseat filmmaking first, that I'm going to have a higher score than both of you guys.
Oh, yeah, that is
I'm going to go with an 8.34.
All right.
I really enjoyed this movie. The things that are, I don't want to use the word hokey, but that's all I can use to come to mind. But I'm really trying not to use 2025 as reference of a 90s action movie.
Oh, sure. You have to, yeah.
I'm trying to compare it to the movies of the time. And I think, thinking about those like other movies of that decade, this had to have been a great summer blockbuster, a great movie to go see. Just everything you want out of a Friday night movie. A good story. Like, it is an awesome action movie. I think Keanu Reeves is fantastic. I already gave Sandra Bullock her flowers, but she is incredible in this movie. I think all the supporting cast, I always love seeing Jeff Daniels get a little more serious in his roles.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just really thoroughly enjoyed this movie. Octane time. I am going to go with a 9.5. This is as octane as it gets. Just thrill ride. Like I said earlier, once you get on the bus, you are just time flies because you're just like, let's get out of this bus. Like let's get this bus. Let's get these people off safely. And just what a thrill ride. 2 thumbs up, I believe, is on this VHS tape.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I
not from Dennis Hopper. He's missing.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Sorry, Dennis.
Well, dude, yeah. Maybe we tapped into Seth's like we have a cheat code for Seth giving high scores now. We just throw him some schlock, some action schlock.
Yeah.
God, Die Hard might break his scale or something. I don't know.
I do love some Die Hard.
Nice, man. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad we all enjoyed it. Yeah, it's always a fun watch. I was super excited when it got picked.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I'm glad you watched it finally and actually really enjoyed it. That's awesome. You guys have anything else before we conclude?
That's
think
speed,
so.
baby.
That's speed, baby. Well, as always, thank you all for watching. Next movie, I don't think we have in the works, but I think it is going to be one of these movie poster movies.
Yeah, we do have a movie
You're gonna
poster.
get a war flick.
Yeah, exactly.
You have no choice.
And then we do have our Fantastic Four review coming up in a few weeks as well, so we'll have that out.
Fantastic Four.
Hey, don't get us copyright striked over here.
Oh, is that too good?
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, other than that, I think that does it then.
I think that does it. Again, thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time. Dean, take us out.
Hey, fans and subscribers of Backseat Filmmaking. Thank you, viewers, for watching. You need to like, subscribe, comment, and generally don't break bad on the comments, all right? Because I'm going to kick your butt, all right? You don't want the DE after your ass. So do all that and support Backseat Filmmaking.